7 brand new works that we're excited to share with you, written by composers from around the United States and Canada. Last summer, once I knew how many boys and girls we were going to have in band, I started contacting composers to write music for us to premiere at our spring concert. It's sort of been a tradition over the last 3 years. So far, after tonight, 19 brand new works have been premiered by our 5th grade bands over the past 3 seasons. So it's a neat project that these boys and girls get music written just for them to showcase their talents and their abilities, and so we are excited to share them with you. The first one tonight that you're going to hear is written by a composer named Len Orsino. He's a retired band director after teaching 35 years in northeastern Ohio's public and private schools. His experience includes elementary, high school, community college, and the last 23 years at the middle school. Len has composed works for many ensembles whom he has taught with or with whom he has performed with over his career. It's always fun working with band directors because they know what the young players are capable of doing. First one that we're going to play is called Brobdingnagian. And Len writes, "There is a land in Gulliver's Travels called Brobdingnag. Everything there is gigantic. Anything from there is Brobdingnagian." This composition opens with a contrast between soft to loud, simulating small to large. This work is a walk through the fairy tale land. Enjoy this world premiere, Brobdingnagian. Thank you. The next one, entitled Kraken, is written by a composer you've heard before. We played a piece by this composer at our combined concert in February. His name is Scratch Eden, or that's his pen name. His real name is John Alex Warner. He's an up-and-coming composer in the world of concert band music. His music is melodically centered with a dramatic tilt that's designed to be engaging for both performers and the audience. Scratch is also a seasoned musical theater composer and singer-songwriter. His pop rock music earned him a semi-finalist spot during Tennessee's Singer-Songwriters Week in 2022. The program notes for Kraken are as follows. He says, "We know less about the ocean on our own planet than we do about the solar system." A quote by Dr. Emily Zarka. "Sailors used to tell terrifying tales of encountering a large cephalopod on the open ocean. an aggressive man-eating octopus of epic proportions. Some accounts even claim the monster would attack the ship itself, attaching its body to the hull, wrapping its horrible tentacles around the vessel, and dragging the ship and its crew members to the depths. While there's no scientific evidence proving the existence of actual kraken, the fact that we know so little about our oceans makes it possible, very unlikely, but possible. In this piece, a group of unlucky sailors comes across this epic sea monster. They fight the kraken off until it retreats, but the monster is only playing with its food. As her tentacles return to sink the vessel, the crew loses hope. They abandon ship, taking their chances, swimming in the open ocean, the lucky ones anyway. The ship cracks, floods with water, and sinks to the depths below. Kraken. University of North Texas College of Music. A first-generation Mexican-American, Ernesto has a passion and a keen understanding for storytelling and music unique to his upbringing that fuels his desire to grow as a composer. He composes music for the world of music education, the concert stage, and for commercial applications such as film and television. Ernesto is a proud member of the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, the Composers Diversity Collective, and the Society of Composers and Lyricists. He's written a piece entitled Dragon Rider, and he writes, Dragon Rider was born from a collaboration with Mr. Hubers of the Brandon Valley Intermediate School in the fall of 2023, who sought a captivating yet accessible piece for his beginning ensemble. After some brainstorming, the initial regal and noble theme that emerged during the creative process sparked the vivid image of courageous riders training to ride dragons into battle, inspiring the title. As the composition evolves, variations in dynamics and articulations create a sense of progression, paving the way for a return of the main theme. Finally, the piece culminates in a triumphant and hopeful rendition of the main material, symbolizing the exhilarating moment of soaring through the skies atop a magnificent dragon prepared to conquer any challenge. Dragon Rider. He's a devoted music educator, clinician, drill designer, music arranger, and composer with more than 25 years of experience. He is passionate about instilling a love and appreciation for music at all students he works with, from Division I University wind ensembles to rural beginning band students. Dr. Robinson is currently the director of bands at Missouri Southern State University in Joplin, Missouri. Mousetrap, he writes, is a fun piece meant to introduce a variety of concepts to the young players, including chromaticism, dynamics, articulation, meter changes, key signature changes, and ensemble play. Throughout the work, the mouse is represented by the triangle, and the mousetrap is represented by the snare drum. Mousetrap takes you on a cat and mouse journey with the mouse getting away in the end. Mousetrap. For those of you that were counting, that started out in 4/4 time. We had a little escapade in 5/4 time. We went back to 3/4, we went to 2/4, we went to 4/4. Kids did a phenomenal job. Plus, there's a key change in there to boot, if you heard that at Measure 74. Probably one of the most challenging pieces I've ever put in front of a 5th grade ensemble. So congratulations to them on their hard work and preparation on that piece. The next composer that we'd like to feature is Laura Estes. After 36 years as a middle school and high school band director, Laura Estes retired in 2018 from the Cobb County school system in Georgia and began composing. Estes was named the winner of the 2021 Women Bands Director International Composition Competition. Along with original music performed at the Midwest Clinic in Chicago, Estes' concert works are frequently featured at state music conventions, all-state events, and regional honor bands throughout the United States. Estes and her husband Gil reside in Marietta, Georgia. She's written a piece entitled Ancient Badlands. She writes, after receiving the commission project from the Brandon Valley Intermediate School 5th grade band, I wanted to write a piece that would resonate with the students' connection to South Dakota. The ancient history of South Dakota Badlands piqued my interest. Mesmerized by the prairie landscape's stark beauty, I discovered that millions of years ago it was covered by a subtropical shallow sea called the Western Interior Seaway. Towards the end of the Cretaceous period, the seaway had partially receded, leaving in its wake beautiful temperate forests and rivers in what eventually would become the Badlands of South Dakota. These forests and rivers were teeming with life, filled with creatures large and small. It was the age of the dinosaurs. Ancient Badlands takes us back 66 million years to a specific point in time, one day before the catastrophic asteroid slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula. This devastating asteroid caused the mass destruction or extinction of dinosaurs and most of non-avian life on our planet. It also brought about the end of the Cretaceous period. On the day before this cataclysmic event, one would have heard all kinds of forest sounds along with the clicking and scratching chatter of dinosaurs. Students will enjoy creating the sounds of the rainforest with wind chimes, rain sticks, and finger snaps. Percussionists will especially enjoy imitating dinosaur clicking sounds and scratching with sandblocks, castanets, claves, stick clicks, ratchet, and vibroslap. With limited accidentals, this piece is an excellent way to introduce the concept in a fun and engaging way. I hope you and your students enjoy learning ancient Badlands. Thank you so much. Our next composer, Matt Neufeld, is a graduate of the University of Manitoba in Winnipeg, Canada. Matt Neufeld does his best to compose, teach, and play music for as many people as he can convince or coerce to play it. Matt spends most of his days working with amazing school band students at Oak Park High School in Winnipeg, where he's been teaching since 2022. He wrote a piece called Links Lane Strut. Here's what he writes. In the summer of 2023, I was contacted by Dal Hubers to write a piece for his band. Dal was kind enough to give me great creative freedom, and I decided that I wanted to write a piece that was fun and educational at the same time. After learning that the Brandon Valley Intermediate School has a lynx as their mascot, I was struck with the image of this cat proudly strutting around, and this piece was born. I imagined that, like my imaginary feline, the students would be able to strut around to the beat of this piece. I'm eternally grateful to Dal and his work, for the work he has done commissioning new works, not just for his own bands, but for the larger band community to benefit from as well. Links Lane Strut. In addition to teaching, Kevin is a published composer and an active arranger for concert marching bands throughout the southeastern United States, and is an active freelance trumpet player. He lives in King Mountain with his wife Gabrielle, and in his free time he enjoys hiking, meditating, photography, and bird watching. The piece that he wrote for us is entitled Fox Sparrow March. Fox Sparrow March was conceived in collaboration between Kevin Clary and Mr. Dal Hubers, who are from North Carolina and South Dakota respectively. The naming of the piece was an attempt to highlight something the two states share in common. The fox sparrow, through its migratory patterns, can be found in both states at different points of the year. The music itself attempts to convey the lively enthusiasm and familiar forms of a traditional concert march while being accessible and enjoyable for first-year players. Fox Sparrow March. so much. At this moment, we're going to take just a few minutes to recognize the students that have finished their first Tradition of Excellence book. We recognize one student, Caleb, at our concert in February, and since then we've had 33 other students finish their book. We're going to start in score order, meaning we're going to go from the highest book. Hudson S., Colten Vandenhall, Grayson H., Elliot E., Carter A. We'll get a few more.
All boys in the future.